Thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Northeast. I'm Andrew Pritchard, meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. As we look at the hazards map from the National Weather Service on this Tuesday morning, February 18th, we've got a couple areas of wintry weather ongoing. We've got one storm tracking across portions of the northern Great Lakes into the Northeast region, which has prompted winter weather advisories from the UP of Michigan into northern Michigan and then into portions of New York. And then portions of Maine as well. We've also got an area of wintry weather expected over the next 48 hours across portions of central Nebraska into portions of Kansas, with the system sliding through that region. So we look at the satellite picture, you can see the storm system that's bringing the snow to northern portions of the Northeast region. You can see the counterclockwise flow around that area of low pressure with the front extending well off to the south. We've got a second front that's going to bring in a second shot of cooler air to the region here over the next couple of days as well. As we look at the radar picture, you can see all sorts of shower and storm activity across portions of the mid-south into the southeast. Rain showers moving into portions of New York and Pennsylvania, and then we'll have the snow on the northern side here as we head through the next couple of days as well. Now we'll look at the temperature forecast. We're at the current temperatures, I should say, here on Tuesday morning. You can see the warm air feeding northward, being drawn northward by the storm system making its way through the region. And then here is the final shot of really Arctic air making its way out of the prairie into the northern plains right now. That'll make its way into the Northeast region again over the next couple of days. A loop of the temperatures, again, you see the warm air moving through the region over the next 24 hours, followed by the cold air Wednesday into Thursday on the backside of the storm system. Once again, on the leading edge, again, warm air feeding in from the south and from the southwest as we head through the day today. It's on the backside then tomorrow into tomorrow night. We'll see that shot of cooler air coming in from the east, or coming in from the west, I'm sorry. Let's look at the precip forecast then as we go through the next couple of days, watching this storm system track into the region. As we start off on Tuesday morning, watching it push into western portions of New York, spreading into northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine by the time we get to mid-morning and mid-afternoon. By the time we get to this evening, things will really be winding down by and large. Here's sunset now on this Tuesday evening. And we see things maybe peaking across eastern areas here, northern portions of Vermont, New Hampshire picking up some snow, a wintry mix elsewhere across the two states there, and then snow across the state of Maine. Southward, just rain showers moving out of eastern portions of Pennsylvania, New York, east over toward the Atlantic coast. And then as we get into the overnight hours, by sunrise tomorrow morning, things have quieted down. The only option for precipitation is going to be maybe some lake effect snow coming off the lakes here across western and northern portions of New York. That's really about it as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. Here's a look at your snow forecast, or the snow totals here as we head through the end of the week. And of course, all of this falls with the storm system moving through the region during the day today and into tonight. The highest where we got some lake influence, and then some of the higher elevation areas here where we could get in excess of a foot of snow. Elsewhere, talking about really about 2 to 6 inches of snow across the region. Now, as we take a look at the jet stream and where we're headed over the next several days, we see the trough swinging in. That's what brings the cooler temperatures, that brings the snow through the region today into tonight. We then see a ridge build into the central portion of the country as we get into the weekend and into the beginning of next week. That's going to bring some warmer air into the region again as we get into the back half of the weekend into early next week. And then we see our next trough beginning to set up here. A couple of waves. Now, the first one that makes its way off through southern portions of the U.S. as we get into Sunday and Monday, and then we've got a second wave. You see it diving in right here as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. And so the chance for some unsettled weather certainly across the Ohio River Valley into the southeast. But it does look like we'll at least have some opportunity for precipitation off to the north as well, with the potential for some snow on the northern end as well. Plenty of uncertainty, though, in time for changes and how exactly this is going to evolve. I'm just kind of letting you know that really the precipitation over the next 24 to 48 hours is about it across the Northeast region until we get to these question marks here as we get into early next week. All of that is to say the main player is this area of high pressure that slides out of the Canadian prairie into the central and then eventually southeastern United States, making its slow journey here through the weekend. And then it's not until we get to the other side of the weekend we start to see low pressure developing here across the central and southern plains, swinging into the Ohio River Valley. You can see it right here. We're going to pause this here. Friday, high pressure still dominating. Watching the southern plains here as we get into, there it is, Sunday into Monday now. And then again, big question marks as far as where exactly that's going to track. And then we have to watch the second question mark is the wave that comes in from the northern plains as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. The response there, well, as we head through the next several days, you can watch the clockwise flow around this area of high pressure, keeping things dry. We're looking at moisture content within the atmosphere until we get to next week. That's where you see the change there. Again, we'll just kind of go through time with this one, watching the clockwise flow around that, keeping things dry across the Corn Belt and then across the Northeast region as well. That's what's going to bring us several days of really gorgeous weather. And then as we head into the weekend, this area of high pressure begins to shift off to the southeast. We still have clockwise flow around that. That helps begin to pump moisture back in from the Gulf of Mexico. Also aids in the development of an area of low pressure here across, again, the Red River region here of Oklahoma and Texas. That'll then begin to sweep into the region. So here you see the response. Moisture begins to lift northward. And this is where we'll have to talk about the potential for precipitation, certainly through the Ohio River Valley into the Mid-South, but then likely downstream into the Northeast region as well. A look at the precipitation type forecast over the next week. Again, watching this first system sneak through here during the day today, getting into the overnight and then exiting the area by tomorrow. Perhaps some lake effect snow lingering into the day tomorrow. Cold and windy as we head through Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. High pressure sliding across the region. You're noticing here we are dry across a big chunk of the central and northeastern U.S. as we head through the weekend and into early next week. Now we're getting into Monday. This is where we're starting to see that area of low pressure develop across the southern plains. Precipitation beginning to spread northward into the eastern Corn Belt here, as again, this is Sunday at about 7 p.m., 6 p.m., and then eventually this will make its way into the northeast region as we get into Monday and Tuesday. Total precipitation as we head through the end of the week. Again, a smattering here of anywhere from a few tenths to maybe a half of an inch. The highest amounts here are going to be off to the north where we pick up some heavy snow, both from lake effect snow and some of the high elevation influence across portions of New Hampshire and Vermont into Maine. A look then at your temperatures. We warm up, cool down, and then warm back up as we head through the next 7 days with a cool down then on the backside of the next trough. Let me go ahead and show you the timing here. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride here. Warmer temperatures over the next couple of days on the backside of this system here Wednesday into Thursday. We do cool back down as that ridge begins to build into the central and eastern U.S. As we get into Sunday and Monday, we'll start to warm once again across the northeast region. But then that area of low pressure develops across the central U.S., swings through, and brings in another shot of cooler air from Canada as we get into February 26th, 27th, and 28th. So again, that roller coaster ride of temperatures does continue as we head through the next couple of days, or I should say the next 7 to 10 days. Look at your high temperatures for the next 5 days just to finish things off, right around freezing across northern Maine to the mid-50s in the south. As we head through the day on Wednesday, cooler air starts to make its way in. Your Thursday high temperatures in the teens and 20s across the northeast region. Starting to warm slightly Friday into Saturday, and by the time we get to Sunday, just about everyone except the highest elevations off to the north should see your high temperatures above freezing. As we look at overnight lows, we'll watch that first round of cooler air make its way in, starting with your overnight lows tomorrow morning, waking up in the mid-20s to near freezing near the coast. Teens to the single digits as you head from south to north on Thursday morning. Friday, just as cold, single digits off to the north, perhaps below zero in some areas. Wind chills certainly below zero. Very cold across, especially the northern portions of the region here, northern New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. That's where temperatures in the single digits. Those winds continue to be blustery out of the west, creating wind chills that could be below zero at times. Starting to warm up, though, as we head into Saturday and Sunday, with those overnight lows on Sunday and Monday getting closer and closer to freezing across just about the entire region.